I'm to Oracle in this reading for CW. CW wants to know, let's see, I'm in a situation very convoluted and has shifted many times in the past 33 years. Well, some call it lost love, soulmate, or we have a red thread of fate. We have gone up and down for many years. Currently, we are in a situation we have never been, and the emotions are just overwhelming. When I try to meditate, it doesn't work. No, I get what I want to hear. I'm afraid I'm too close to the situation. Can you help? Sure. So it looks like that we do have a situation where everybody keeps coming back. The Oracle card we have today, High Priestess of Fire, which sort of indicates that it is a bit overwhelming. It is a bit heated at the moment as well. We have an interesting card, the Greed card, right? The Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles sort of points to that a lot of the relationship that has been going on before has revolved around sort of individual needs rather than being in a group or having group needs being satisfied. So it's more of a kind of a, not exactly selfish, but it's more of an inward focused goals that look like have been based in the relationship in the past. And I think you're coming into something to where now you're sort of in tune with each other and you're able to sort of benefit each other and be more giving and more forthcoming than you have been in the past. It's one of those things to where you know it's going to end and you know it's going to start again. Therefore, you don't really put a ton of effort or a lot of effort into it. You don't really focus on the other individual and try to make them happy or see what their needs are or sort of, hone the relationship to benefit the other individual rather than us. And we get into that trap quite often, and that's what the Four of Pentacles is pointing to in this particular case. Now we have the Queen of Pentacles again, meaning that you pretty much have controlled the relationship in the past and you have a definite feel or a definite sort of remote control of the relationship. So you have been the Queen of the Pentacles, and here we have the Pentacles, everybody sort of keeping what they have or orienting the relationship to themselves, and you have sort of been in power in that. In other words, you determine when the relationship starts or when it ends and things like this. You're sort of the gatekeeper of the relationship, more or less, and we'll put the Five of Wands on it to give that more clarification. The Five of Wands obviously is a conflict card, so we do have that conflicting nature in yourself. You're not really sure if you want this person or not. This is one of those things to where it's been a backup a lot of times in other relationships. So you know that this particular person is available if you ever need a relationship to fall back on. And that's kind of one of the things you rely on. And that's caused some conflict because it's not really your primary relationship. But making your primary relationship is a bit odd because it's a new place that you have not been before. So one of the unusual situations. So now we have the Two of Pentacles. We sort of, this is weird, I did actually draw. I did draw from random places in this deck, and I got just all these pentacles. So I think this is about resources and about sort of having enough resources or having the resources that you need in a relationship. And the Two of Pentacles in this particular deck is when she's sort of coming back into this relationship or into this conflict. The conflict is always going to be there, sort of that inner conflict you're talking about with it being on and off. But you always sort of come back and you're sort of carrying the baggage from the previous relationships, or you're carrying the things from the previous relationships back into this relationship. So you'll see that within the card, the carrying this back into this particular relationship. Now, sort of here is the conclusion. The conclusion is sort of, instead of going back and forth, try to make this your primary relationship and try to make this something to where you can commit to it and try to make this a relationship to where, again, instead of the, this is treating it as another instance of these short-term relationships, treat it as a long-term relationship and see how it works out. Ultimately, it should be interesting to see how it works out, but you'll see this rod connecting the two dragons going back and forth. So get that sort of that emotional connection. Try it as your primary relationship and try that and see if that helps. It's one of those things, again, to where you're going to have to readjust yourself and reorient the relationship to be your primary one instead of sort of a secondary or backup. And if the other person will do the same, I think it should work out fine. So that is my 2 cents. Again, this is a entertainment reading, however, so just take that as you may and look at the cards and see if any of these resonate with you as well. High Priestess of Fire, it looked like this time it could work out for the best, and it could work out as something long-term to where both of you can be happy and content. And that is my reading. If you would like a free reading, email address in the description. Please email me and I will get back to you. I'm currently running about a month behind, so orient your question as more of a long-term question, and I would love to give you a free reading. Thank you for watching. Please hit like and subscribe.